Hello and welcome to Create Crochet. In today's video we are going to make a basket weave basket. This was my practice piece. Obviously you may want to take yours a lot longer than this, but this is essentially how it starts. After you've made the circle of your basket, you will need to then go ahead and make the round for the base, which we will go through. So let's get started. The yarn I'm using is a linen yarn, which is quite thin, and it's kind of in an oatmeal kind of brown colour. I wanted it to look like string so that I could put it anywhere in my house. So what we need to do is chain. And to start the chain we need to make our slip knot. So holding your fingers here, you go round so you have that kind of shape. Hold it at the cross and bring the yarn through and tighten. Just tighten that knot up a little bit. When you chain, you will need to chain to the count of 8. Okay, so that will determine how circular, how wide your circle is, the circumference and the diameter. So let's go ahead. So we've got we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 1, and then we do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So now you know what you're doing with your counting of 8s. Pause the video right now, carry on chaining to the count of 8, however many times you want. That is what the 8 comes out like. So it's about the size of my thumb. Each of these are 4 stitches, but you will need to count in 8s so you can do front loop and back loop, which I will explain in a minute. So that's what your counts of 8s look like. So go ahead and do that to however big you want your basket to be. Okay, so now you've done that, I'm going to stick with my small one because I want to show you how to do it quite quickly. So you have your chains of 8s, and we need to slip stitch this to form a ring. So holding your work here, slide across so that it's got no twists in it, and just slip stitch to this first chain. Like so. And straight away chain 2. Now this chain 2 isn't classed as anything else other than a chain 2 to get up to the next row. In every single chain we are going to do a double crochet, which in the UK is a treble crochet. What I do is I also count 8s here. So this would be 1, 2, and let me just make sure I can show you where I'm putting my hook. Yarn over into the chain and push the hook through, yarn over and bring through, so you have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and take off 2 loops, yarn over and take off 2, and just keep going all the way along your chain without missing any or without putting 2 stitches into one chain. And then this, once you've done it all the way around, is what it should look like. Now each one of these stitches is now going to be called a post. Okay, so keep going all the way around. Again, counting to make sure you have groups of 8, and I will meet you when I've done mine. So I'm just about to do my last one, which is my last 8 into this chain here. And to complete this round, we need to, remember we did the chain 2 after we'd made the ring. We need to slip stitch to that second chain. So that's 1 here and 2 here. So we're going to go into the stitch and not the 2 chain space to finish our round, and then chain 2. 1, 2, just to get up to the next round. So obviously yours is going to look a lot bigger than mine. I'm just doing this small one to show you how to do this effect here. So we're going to work with the basket stitch, and we are going to chain 2, and then we're going to do a front post double crochet. Now I am using the American terms. Being an English woman, I am using the American terms, so it is a front post double crochet. So you know I said that these are now posts. We are going to crochet into the gaps. I'll show you what I mean. So in between each post you have a hole. It's these holes that we're going to be putting our crochet hook. Not catching anything up of this post, we're just using it to dance around. Okay, so to do your front post double crochet, it's exactly the same way to do a double crochet. So yarn over, but instead of going into any chain spaces, we are going to go in, so your hook goes through to the back, and then back into that gap. So you have the post on your hook. Yarn over and bring through, so you have your 3 loops. Yarn over and bring through 2. Yarn over and bring through 2. And we're going to do that 4 times. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you've never done a front post double crochet before, well done. I'm very, very proud of you. You're very successful. So we have just done 4 front posts double crochets. My yarn is about to knot. I'll sort that in a minute. And that is what your 4 front post double crochets look like from the front. And from the back, it has created this line. I'll tell you more about that line once we have finished this round. I know, it's exciting. Loads of information still to come. My yarn has knotted, so I'm just going to quickly undo that. Here we go. So now we've done our 4 front post double crochet. We now need to do 4 back post double crochet. So yarn over, and from the back of our work we're going to put our hook into the very, very next post, and then back through that gap, yarn over and come through. So we have the 3 loops on our hook, yarn over and bring through 2, and bring through 2. Yarn over into this very next stitch, and that's 2. Yarn over into the very next stitch. We're going to come from the back, push the post back and bring our hook through, yarn over, so we have our 3 loops on our hook, bring through 2, bring through 2. So that was 3, and then our last one for 4. And this is why when you did your chain of counts of 8, how it works out. Now let's have a look at the difference between a front post and a back post. Can't really see it just yet, but this is the front post, and it's called a front post because you're pushing the posts to the front of the work, and with the back post you're pushing the posts to the back of the work, and you can tell a back post because it has this line here. Again, I will tell you more about that line when we go to the next round up. So now we've just done 4 back post, we now need to do 4 front post. So taking the hook through and bringing the post forward, yarn over, and it's exactly the same stitch all the way through. It just depends on whether you're pushing your post front or back. So that's 2. And 3. And then in the last one, for 4. And then we need to do the back post. So yarn over into the very, very next stitch, so we make sure that we're not skipping any. Yarn over and just bring the yarn in, we're just bringing the yarn through the gap, or not, let me try that one again. We're just bringing the yarn through the gaps in between the posts. Okay, so that's a back post. That's 1. 2. 3. 4. And that is how your first round looks. So to complete the round, as we complete all of the rounds, we find our 2 chain and slip stitch to the second chain, and then we chain 2, and that's that round complete. As I said before, yours will look a lot bigger than this. I'm literally doing it this small excuse me, this small to show you how to do it. So if you need to pause the video at this point to carry on going around in your round, go for it. I'm going to go ahead and tell you what to do on the next round. So when you're making the basket weave stitch with the one I'm doing, we're going to be working in rows of 2 before we then change. So at the moment we've just done this, we need to carry on and do this bit. So the 2 rounds, working in 2 rounds, will look the same, but it just creates that little bit of height. So in this round we're going to do exactly the same as what we did in the previous round. So we've chained 2 just to get up to the next round, and then into each of these 4 front post double crochet you will need to put a front post double crochet. So when we are with, so that was round 1, and this is round 2 effectively, you do like for like. Okay, so remember what I said last round, that I was going to explain more about this line here. Well, here we go, here's the explanation. When you now do your stitches around the post, you're going to come and put your hook above this line here. So when you're doing a front post, let me spread it out a little bit so you can see. You can see the line here. So your hook will go above this line. Okay? I know you're brilliant and I know you've got that, even though I'm not very good at explaining this. Yarn over, and it's the front post that we're going to be doing. So going above the line, so right up here, we're going to do 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, and the last one is 4. So effectively you've doubled the height of this part of your basket, like that. Looking good, crocheters, looking really good. That's what it looks like from the back, and that's what it looks like from the front. So let's go ahead. The sun is just coming out where I am. Yay! So now we need to do the 4 back post. So into this next stitch here, going round the post and above the line, you'll get a feel for it. I'm making it sound, as I always do, making it sound a little bit more difficult than what it is, because you'll be able to see it with your own eyes and you'll be able to feel it. Honest, you will, trust me. So that was 2. 3, and into the last one for 4. You will have to find that last one, but it's there. It's there. Hook doesn't want to come through easily. There we go. For 4. Doesn't look like much at the minute, does it? Doesn't look that great. I want to make that a bit bigger. Just open it out like so. Let's take out some more yarn here, crocheters. So like that. So you've doubled the height of this section. With the back post, you can tell it's a back post because it's got the lines here, and because we've done 2 rows, you have 1, 2 lines. That's 1 line there, 1 line there. Okay? Can you see it in your own work? Have a look at your own work now, and just make sure that you can see the lines and that it all looks a bit splendid. So now we need to do the 4 front post, which in my opinion, it's easier to do the front post than the back post. I don't know why, that's just my personal opinion. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we go to the back post. So from the back, through the gap, and bring the yarn through to do the double crochet. That was 1, 2, 3, and 4. And there we are, back to the 2 chain space, excuse me, back to the 2 chain space where I'm going to put my slip stitch. So that's 1 chain there and 1 chain there, and it's this chain here that I'm going to put my hook in to do the slip stitch to complete the round. And then chain 2. So this time we're going to work, I'm so sorry, this time we're going to work in the opposite. So where we started before with the front post double crochet, now we're going to go against it and do a back post double crochet for 2 rounds. So this is round 1, so you go in, round, and do your double crochet as normal. 1, 2, and my hook wants to go through that, 2, 3, and the last one, still working in 4s, for 4, and because this was a back post double crochet, this time we're going to make it a front post double crochet. 1, 2, 3, and then the last one is 4, and then again, because this was a front post double crochet, we will now need to make it a back post double crochet. So yarn over, through and through, no, but didn't want to do it that time. Let me try that one again. Like so. Don't be afraid to do stitches again if you have to, it's fine. So that's 1, 2, 3, and into the last one, 4, and then again this was a back post, so we'll need to make it a front post, going above the line, this line here. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4, like that. And there I am back to my beginning chain 2 space where I'm going to 1, 1, 2. Bit aware of, because the sun is glorious, of putting all this into shadow. So I'm sorry if it is. I will have a look at the video once I've finished recording and make sure it's all clear. So that is what your work should now start to look like. So you've got a very definite, clear distinction between the front posts and the back posts. It's almost like a step here where this line is of pushing the posts backwards. So let's complete this second round. It's not the second round of the whole project, but because we're going to be working in rounds of 2, this is the second round of this one. So not going into this chain space here, but going into the definite post, back post, double crochet for 4. So that's 1, 2. Nope. Because yours is going to be bigger than mine, yours won't be as fiddly as this. That was 1. 2. 'That's catching on something. Try that one again. 1, 2. There we go. 3. And then into the last one for the 4. Always working in 4s. And then the front post. 1. Why is that not going through? I think because this is a linen yarn, if you work with it a lot, it does tend to fray. So that was our 4. Let's try that again. 1. 2. 3, and making sure I'm putting my hook above that line, that horizontal line, and 4. And then this was the back post. So you'll start to recognise the difference of a front post and a back post. So that's 1. 2. 3. And 4. Just need to take some more yarn out. Should be enough. And then front post again. So that's 1. 2. 3. 4. And here I am back to my beginning. So I'm going to count as I'm going to do in every single row. 1, 2 chains, and slip stitch to this chain. And then I would chain 2 to get up to my next round. To finish your work, so keep going round and round and round and round and round until you've got the height of the basket that you want. Just be careful that if you're using a floppy yarn, that when you make your basket as tall as that you want, that it's not starting to collapse like that through the weight of the yarn. Make sure that it still stands quite pert and quite upright. You might need to do what I'm doing a little bit just to make it do that. But that is what it should look like. I'll show you on the bigger one. So I've done, with this one, I've done 4 2 rows. So that's 8 rows this has taken. That's my front post, back post, front post. I'm lying, I've done 3. So front post, back post, front post. So the front post makes the lines like that, and the back post creates this line here, and then the front post again gives those lines there. So once you've got the height of the basket that you want and you need, slip stitch to the top of your 2 chain, cut the yarn here and fasten off and weave in any ends. So go ahead and pause the video now, create your basket to the height that you want, have fun, and remember we're going to be working in clusters of 2 rows, front post to front post, and then back post to back post, and I'll join you in a minute and we will do the base of our basket together. So now you've got your basket to the height that you want and it's looking absolutely stunning. We now need to make the base for the pot so that everything doesn't fall out. Make quite a nice wrist warmer, but we're here to make a basket. So to do that, we're going to be working in the round with an adjustable loop. So holding the yarn here, go round your fingers like so, hook through under and chain 2. 1, and 2, and then just tighten this loop up a little bit, and you do that by pulling on this piece here. Into this loop we are going to be putting 6 half double crochet, or the UK term is a half treble crochet. And to do this, yarn over, put your hook through and pick up the yarn, and you have 3 loops over on your hook, yarn over and take through all 3. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Like so. To tighten this loop up again, you just hold this small piece here and pull to close the loop. And you're going to slip stitch to the top of the 2 chain space. Chain 2 to get to the next round, and now we're going to put 2 half double crochets in each of the previous round, which should give us 12 stitches. So that's 1 and 2, and then into the next one, 1 and 2, and to the next one for 1, and then back into the same stitch for 2, to the next one for 1, and then into the same one for 2. So by putting 2 stitches into one hole, you effectively are making an increase. So 1 and 2. I think I've got more here than what I need, but it's okay because it's the base and you're not going to see it. So it's fine. I'm not worried. And also, this bit is a bit personal because I don't know how big your pot is. So this is where my chain came out of, this bit here, so I don't need to do 2 in there. And then I'm going to go, that's my first chain, that's my second chain, so that is where I'm going to put my slip stitch. And chain 2. So we're going to make an increase into the first one, so 2 into here, 1 and 2. One into the next one, and then our increase. And each time we do a new round, the one gets more. So that would be one on the next round. It would be increase, one single, and then an increase. And then on the next round, you would start always with your increase. And then you do a single, and then a double. Okay, so just in a double, and then we do a single, and then a double in here, and then a single, and then a double, and then a single, and then a double. Sorry, I hope I'm not boring you with this. I'm sorry. And then into this one a single, and then a double, Now we are back round to the 2 chain where I'm going to slip stitch, and then chain 2, which is how we start every new round, and that's how your disc should start to look like. So because we did an increase and then one single and then an increase, on this round you start every round with an increase, so that's 1 and 2, and then 1 single, 2 single, and then the increase. So do you see what I mean? And then on the next round you would do, start the round with your chain 2 and then an increase, and then single, 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 increase. And each round you go round, you increase the amount of singles that you do before your increase. So we've just done a double there, so we do 1 single, 2 single, and then an increase, then a single, single, increase. You know what you're doing now. You're all brilliant. You know you are. All of us create crocheters are brilliant. So then we do a single and a single, and then an increase, 1 and 2 into the same stitch, and then a single, and a single, and then an increase. And do you know what? I think I've gone a little bit wrong on this base, but because it's the base, I'm not going to stress too much. If I'm honest, I've worked so hard on the sides of my basket that because this is the bottom and you're not going to really see it, I'm not going to stress too much. I have to say, as long as I can get it to the size that I need to then attach it to my base, which will look something like that, then I'm going to be a happy bunny, I have to say. So I'm going to keep going and to the size of my base, and then in a minute we'll come back and we'll sew it together. So keep going, chain 2 to start the next row, 1 and 2, start with your increase, and then this round will be 1 single, 1 single, 1 single, and then an increase, so 3 singles before your increase. The next round will be 4, round after that 5, and so on and so forth. So keep going and I'll speak to you in a minute. So I'm happy that I've got my circle now to the size of my base. I'm going to leave quite a large amount of yarn because this is the bit that we're going to be using to sew to our base. Snip that off and pull that long piece through to fasten off your work. Like so. Okay? So, well done. Absolutely bloody brilliant for getting this far. Keep with it. Keep going. You're all pretty amazing. So, with your yarn needle, thread your yarn into the hole. Like so. And all we're simply going to do now is attach the pot or the basket to the base. So we're just going to sew it all the way around. Now, I'm not the world's best sewer, and I will openly admit that. You don't have to be. Just going to really basic stitch it all the way around. Now it depends on what you're going to be using your basket for as to how tight and how perfect you'll need your stitches to be. Mine is going to be used for candy for my office because I'm worth it. So I'm just going to stitch this all the way around, and when I come back hopefully yours will be stitched as well. As I said, not the best stitcher in the world, but I can do a basic stitch. It's quite therapeutic actually. So I don't need my base to be attached to my basket too well, but what I do every now and again is just make a knot like that, just to really make sure that it is secure and that the base isn't going to come off. Now obviously it is a yarn basket, so much weight in here isn't going to be happy. So just all the way around, and I'll see you in a minute. And that's your basket weave basket made with your base. So what I was going to do with mine is use it for candy for my office. But if you get some florist foam and put it in the base, you could use it as a crochet hook holder, like so, which would be great. So they're easy to hand. So what you use your basket for is entirely up to you. I hope you've enjoyed doing it. Don't worry if you've made too many mistakes. It is a bit of a tricky one. It's a bit fiddly. But I am on Facebook and I do have a blog, both of which should be on your screen right now. Thank you so very much for watching my video. I hope you like it. Please leave any comments or feedbacks. I've been Rebecca from Create Crochet. Bye!